Hey guys, have you ever noticed something that just doesn't sit right? No matter how much you think about it? For me, it's this. When someone commits a crime, hurts someone, steals something, destroys property, who ends up paying for it? Not just emotionally, not just socially, financially. Because when you really break it down, it's not just the criminal, it's all of us, the taxpayer. Think about it. Someone commits a serious crime, they get arrested, they go to court, and if convicted, they go to prison. Sounds fair, right? They lose their freedom, that's the punishment. But here's the part that feels off. While they're in prison, being housed, fed, guarded, and processed through the system, who pays for that? We do. Society does. The same people who didn't commit the crime are the ones paying for the consequences. And then there's the victim, the person who was actually harmed. In many cases, they don't get fully compensated. They have to rely on insurance, their own savings, or long legal processes just to recover part of what they lost. So you end up with this strange imbalance. The system spends money maintaining the person who caused harm, while the person who was harmed is left to pick up the pieces. Now I get it, prisons aren't just about punishment. They're about public safety, about removing dangerous individuals from society, and in some cases rehabilitation. But still, there's a question that keeps coming back. Where is the accountability beyond just losing freedom? Because right now the system says you did something wrong, so we'll take away your freedom. But it doesn't always say you will repay what you've taken. And that's where the idea of prison labor, or what some people call work prisons, come into conversation. Now, before people immediately react, this isn't about punishment for the sake of suffering. It's about responsibility. Imagine a system where, while incarcerated, a person works. Not in a forced, abusive way, but in a structured, regulated environment. They earn money. And that money goes toward three things. First, they're going to compensate the victim. Second, the covering part of their own cost of incarceration. And third, potentially saving something for when they're released. Now, suddenly the equation changes. Instead of society carrying 100% of the burden, the person who caused the harm contributes to fixing it. And there's another layer to this. A lot of people in prison never had stable jobs, never learned consistent work habits, never experienced structure, responsibility, or long-term planning. So when they're released, what happens? They go back into the same situation, same mindset, same lack of opportunity, and too often the same outcomes. So what if prison wasn't just a place where time is served, but a place where skills are built, where discipline is learned, where people are forced, not through violence, but through structure, to engage with responsibility? Because let's be honest, sitting in a cell for years doesn't automatically make someone better. It just makes time pass. But working, showing up, learning, earning, paying back, that changes something. That builds something. Now, of course, this kind of system comes with risks. It has to be done carefully, because history shows us that prison labor can be abused, underpaid, exploitative, used for more profit than for rehabilitation, and that's not what this should be. If something like this is ever implemented properly, it has to follow strict rules, fair compensation, safe working conditions, real skill development, and most importantly, a focus on restitution, not exploitation. This isn't about turning prisons into factories. It's about restoring balance. Because right now the system feels one-sided. The public pays, the victim struggles, and the offender serves time but doesn't always repair the damage. And I think that's where a lot of people feel frustration. Not because they want harsher punishment, but because they want fairer outcomes. A system where actions have consequences, not just in terms of freedom, but in terms of responsibility. Because in the real world, if you break something, you fix it. If you take something, you repay it. If you harm someone, you try to make it right. So why should it be different here? Now, I'm not saying this is a perfect solution. There's no perfect system. But I do think it's a conversation worth having. Because the current system leaves too many people asking the same question. Why are the people who did nothing wrong the ones paying the price? And maybe, just maybe, there's a better way to balance justice, responsibility, and fairness. And with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.